Thanks everyone for coming. Hello and welcome to Linux Lads. We're the Linux Lads.
Yay! And before we begin, we must change our editor copy here. What does the good thing to change? 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you like that.
Yeah. So yeah, he couldn't be here, so wanted to give him a little because himself works very hard on the podcast. So for those who don't know who we are, I'll just give a kind of brief introduction. We're the Linux Lads. We're a podcast. We're based in Dublin and North Carolina.
In the US.
Yeah, we have been doing this for 5 years. I won't go into too much into history because we talked about that last year, and nobody needs to hear that all again. So this time around, we're going to be talking about our experiences here at the summit and just in general at cost events, and what talks we liked, just the general scene of going to these events. Like it's a big kind of topic, very broad, but that's the way we like to have it. Just so we yeah, so it's like so last year we went through kind of the history of our podcast and what we how we use open source tools to make the podcast, and to show that you can have like an entirely open source workflow for your podcast. So this year we're going to change tack a little bit and talk about attending these events and what we liked about this weekend and everything. So I'm gonna go to my fellow co-host first of all. Who wants to go first?
Well, why don't we first introduce ourselves, say our names. So Shane over there, Amolith is over there. That's Mike. And Conor.
Yeah, thank you for remembering that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go to you first. What was well, let's not say favorite, but what was one talk that kind of stood out to you this week?
One of them that stood out to me was the DreamWorks talk. I didn't expect it to be as fascinating as it was. I thought it would be bogged down with a lot of technical information.
Yeah, I agree.
The speaker really condensed those sections and sort of glossed over them and moved to the interesting stuff really quickly. And I like that.
Yeah, it's always the case when it comes to these events that people say that like the best talk they went to is the one I never went to.
Also, the best talk that I went to was one at meeting before this, which was the exact talk. It's really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, again, didn't go to it. Mike, what about you?
Well, I can't pinpoint the best, but what stands out for exactly the same reason as Amolith said about DreamWorks. Like I liked the talk about the word that escapes me is basically desktop portals, which is the speaker Georges, I think his name is, and he made it super interesting. It's a really dry technical subject, but he made a really interesting presentation, really explained it well. And there were other things from that, like I liked Dave's talk about podcasts not being a podcast radio, but I'm playing a podcast about not being an actual video caster. Again, interesting, made approachable, always like a side talk because I'm a big fan. But yeah, I mean, there were many good talks, but I think one of the underlying principles of a good talk at a Ubuntu summit is how to make something which is very dry and technical in many cases, how to make it approachable, how to explain it, even the audience that knows about it, how to make it fun. And that's a real art. So I think some of the speakers
On that vein, I would just like to say that one that's really surprised me one time was going to be very dry and technical. Turned out to be really entertaining. We'll see latex or types talk.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know he's here, but yeah, very much enjoyed that.
Yeah, the slide deck was kind of done in the style of like your experience on Tinder. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking that one out afterwards.
These are the alternatives to this book that as well, right?
So which one would be your favorite name? or maybe not favorite, but which ones stood out to you?
Um, I'm actually like blanking now. Like it's on the tip of my tongue, but like yeah, I'm actually completely blanking on like which song that like there's one specific one that just cannot. Oh yeah, sorry. It was actually a beach talk on oh yeah, sorry, thank you, Jim. I was the modern war whatever that was created, like standing on best pedal. So I'm a big music nerd, so I love all the stuff. I can't play guitar to save my life, but I like all the technology that goes around the music. So I'm the kind of guy who buys way too much music gear and does not really use half of it. So I like how it looks.
And this part of the segment is sponsored by Conor.
I'm actually just put that out.
Speaking of seasons and good games, anyway. Who knows?
Yeah. So yeah, if it like if it's like colorful and it makes cool sounds and has nice shiny like colorful lights on it, I'll probably be interested in it. So let's talk about something else. So we're at Ubuntu Summit, but obviously all four of us are pretty seasoned conference goers, if you like. Oh, we are. Don't look at me like that, Mike.
Except for last year, where I wasn't here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Conor. But
Also, all four of us are here. Woo!
oh yeah, that's my thing.
It's actually the first time we are all physically in the same space.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah, that's true.
I met Shane and Connor last year, or Shane and Mike last year. This is the first time I've ever seen Connor in person. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not.
And did they live up to time?
Yes.
That's awesome. As you do.
So, Alan, I'm going to go to you. What conferences like have you gone to apart from Ubuntu Summit, and kind of how would you compare them to Ubuntu Summit?
Well, the other conference I've been to is Southeast Linux Fest. It's really just these two. In my experience, Southeast Linux Fest has been pretty okay, but I would have to say the Ubuntu Summit stands out because of the community. It's really extremely welcoming and friendly to everyone.
I'll get there. Shane, I think you described it as on community wearing an all-camp t-shirt. It's like all camp, but like multiple or intensity of about 2 or 3. So I very much enjoyed all camp, and I don't know if there's something another one, but all camp was great and had that kind of community feel. It's like that more intense. So there's very much a community feel here as well, which I very much enjoyed.
Yeah, and the first thing, like I started going, my first one I ever went to was Fosden. I actually go to Fosden like every year for like 5 years on stage. And this is actually, I went before I met all you guys actually. I was like, I didn't know anybody who was into like Linux and open source. So I was just kind of just go to Brussels every January and went home.
So you're a positive group, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but it's not a big conference. Like there's a lot going on there, so the crowds started to stress me out too much. Stop going. But yeah, you're right. Logcamp is great because it's very informal and you can just rock up on the day and just like put like a little post-it on the board of a talk you just came up with the night before, and we want. It's not like Ubuntu Summit, which is a lot more scheduled. Logcamp is a lot more kind of like informal and community focused.
I don't know if they use the term, but I think saying like one conferences.
One conference, yeah, which is actually a really cool word. I like that. But yeah, I've gone to Fosden, I've gone to podcasts several times, and I did also go to it was like a one-stop thing in Belfast before, but I don't know if it like continued. It was called Belfast. So that was quite cool, but that was a lot smaller than this, it was just like one day of talks and there's one track of talks and that's it. So it's quite a bit smaller. Mike.
Well, I think I've been pretty much to the same conferences as Conor because except for actually we all been we've been to Postcode Live as it counts as a conference. Probably not. That's more like performance kind of thing, and probably that.
Yeah, that was like a live show, kind of like this, but like with podcasts that are better at what they do.
Way more outcomes.
And I did like Overcome. I think that you would do something as a more of a team, but not necessarily a distro business to, inside a project. If I kind of if I were to sum up both Ocamp and this, which is like the only things I can really compare against each other, is Ocamp is more like free culture, anything, software or anything, and it's cool. And this is more, I think, kind of community related, even to the point of community/work. Like, if you want to achieve anything in this space, you have to grab other people. And I think that's from all the talk that I come to. This is what I kind of took away, because there was not a single talk, I think, that would be like, yeah, I'm the one person who does this by all by myself, single proprietor, single developer, and everything is like, yeah, I have a cool project supported by all of these people, and please have a look and join us. So
Yeah, and I think that the thing that I want to say as well is that the team behind it, like, they really pull out all the stops for this one. Like, I haven't seen a conference that has been so, like, well managed, and that's not to throw shade at other conferences, obviously, but like, yeah, it's the team, like, they really pull out all the stops for this. Like, last year kind of blew me away with all the different social events and stuff that were going on, and yeah. I'm pretty tired today, so I don't know how long I'm going to last in the after party tonight, but
it's my first one to tell you one thing, so you guys have said it very, very well. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I would like to concur a lot with all of those. Also, like, the informality of nature of it. I mean, not that I was necessarily expecting this, but there are definitely other conferences where it's all very serious, suit and tie, and it's all business. Here, no, it's everyone's so friendly. You can go to a person and introduce yourself to, and I'll be telling that out to other people as well. If you stop me in the party later on, and you want to come up to me and say hi, feel free to do so.
I thought you were going to say spot me in the park.
Oh no, it's part of the code outside for that.
So, have we officially run out of steam, or will we open it up to the audience, or anything like that, or comments?
I mean, again, it's generally good vibes. So
Yeah.
there was, when you suggested that we talk about things that we've been through, so I kind of went through my head and through the talks. There was one realization that I took from the panel in the morning of the AI, and there was, I think, 6 very smart people on the podium, and from the conversation, was what was very evident. I realized that you could probably kind of put any people in this space on their podium, and it would the conversation would be pretty much the same, which basically is that, and this is completely unrelated to any subject of this podcast or anything. I'm just going on a tangent, but nobody really knows anything about AI. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what it's doing. And we are all discussing it at this point. And that was made obvious to me by the panel, because I was thinking, well, that just could be like you free there, and you still get the same answers. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but it was an interesting realization.
if anything, you're putting this in this team to compete. You're saying there's 3 experts in AI. We could have been you 3 guys.
All right.
No, but I get what you're saying. No, it's like everyone here is good at something. Everyone here like is a curious person, and you can grab literally anyone from the crowd here, and you can have an interesting conversation about something. Like, I've been talking to other people about this. That's what I love about these conferences. The hallway track, as they call it. So that's really what it's all about. Like, for me, if I don't go on a single talk, as long as I just have a little chit chat with a bunch of nerds for a weekend, that's awesome. Really good.
The hallway track is fantastic. That's up to point.
On the vein, I mean, as I said, there's so many interesting people here. There's pretty much all of you are invited on to appear as guests in our podcast, because they're all interesting people. So the show minutes left to come.
Yeah, right. This is where we harvest guests.
Then we don't harvest people. No, we're more organic farmers.
So I've officially run out of things to say, so I'm gonna open it up to the floor if anyone wants to like ask a question or give a suggestion, anything you like.
And we're not sure if it's your part will be recorded, so we want to repeat.
I'm just a microphone handler.
Okay.
Thank you, Conor.
I'd just like to say that the Canonical team definitely deserves a shout out for upping their game this year. We talked a lot about the conference being good, and it is, but I think it's equally important to note that there's been significant year-on-year improvement. And I, for one, am here for it and want to make sure the Canonical team knows that we noticed. Thanks.
So I'm with Canonical, and thank you very much for everybody being here today. I can tell you it's my first Ubuntu Summit myself. I mean, it's definitely a different vibe. It's not like within the company, it's not good, but I did sense a love, like people being accepting. For me, like when my wife announced like I have a job at Ubuntu, she was like, "Who Ubuntu?" Because she's, like a developer herself. You know what? It's special. It's just special. I'm going to leave it at that. But, like I will also make sure that the A team understand that what has been said here today, because that's true. They are doing a fantastic job. So look, thank you again for coming.
One of the things that I noticed is there is a certain amount of energy and efficacy that comes with being in the same room. Like you can communicate with somebody over chat and over email and through collaboration on GitLab, GitHub, but it's just different when you can be inside of the same room. And multiple times throughout the weekend, I would see or experience firsthand where I had a problem with a particular device and I was looking for some code to fix it. And I was able to go to the project maintainer who was here, tap him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, can I get a copy of that?" 30 seconds later, it's sitting in an IM and I have access to that code and I'm able to fix my problem. And that level of community engagement, being able to put faces to names, I think we all have a pretty decent ability to work remotely and to build relationships remotely, but it's just better in person.
I very much noticed that on attended talks, and the speaker would say, "Hey, something name," and then somebody in the audience going, "Hey, I work on that team. Would you like to talk about it?"
Yeah, like that happens to me so many times where in or just hallway, and I'll get a tap on the shoulder and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm the maintainer of that project. Do you need feature requests?" Like, yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing how close to projects you get. And like, it sounds a bit silly, but like, I kind of get starstruck, even though it's someone making software, it's not the same thing as like an actor or a musician or something. But I still sort of get that, and even other podcasts as well. It's like I still sort of get that. They're
And the knowledge of floating and voice in your head.
I want to emphasize something else, that putting faces to names has been fantastic. Because I apparently know a lot of people who are here, but I don't know what they look like. And it's been a great experience actually meeting people face to face that I've been interacting with for sometimes years, exclusively online.
That doesn't happen to me anymore. Where I was talking to someone like or something, and only didn't realize like 20 minutes in that they had been on the podcast before. Things like that.
Piece of
No, it's just because like I think people sound different in real life than they do online. I think that's what it is too. So,
It depends on the person. Some people are exactly the same in real life, and you just know who they are by their voice.
yeah,
Yeah, I would also like to circle back to the putting faces next to the names and the voices. That I often meet with like grumpy users that don't really get all the decisions that are being made. And I always tell them that, you know, you might not agree with them, but if you actually meet the people that are making those decisions and listen to their reasons and explanation, it really helps you with accepting that, you know, it's not just a project that's meant for you. You may not agree with everything, but it still is great for the whole community.
It's harder with an angry
Yeah.
person without the
And also another thing for in-person meetings, one often inspires people to do something. For example, on the last GUADEC, we had a keynote by Manuel Haro, and he talked about organizing conferences in Mexico, and so he's located in Mexico, and he shortly mentioned the Linux App Summit, and afterwards I walked up to him and talked to him why not he applies for the location of the App Summit, and he found it a good idea, but he had not idea of the exact place. But there was also Jesus Soto from Mexico on the conference. The next day they met, and Jesus offered his university where he studied as the location, and they applied, and they won the call for locations. And so the Linux App Summit 2024 will take place in Mexico.
Yeah, it's an interesting exercise in civility because there are definitely some projects or companies that have been here that don't get 100% positive feedback when you read about them on Reddit, for example. But here, I think part of it is face to face, part of it is because you know this is because everybody here is kind of maybe invited, or you know everybody here seems to be very civil. So all the interactions, even around people that you might not necessarily agree with, was extremely civil and polite and friendly in my experience.
yeah. Actually, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's like you know, I have opinions and preferences like everyone else, and you know, I might hate some software, but then you meet the developer and they're a nice person, and it's like, well, you can't hate it now. Does anyone else have any questions? Or even ask you a question, it could just be like, what do you want to say?
I would like to avoid breaking his laptop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so what is the most unexpected thing that you have found here?
There's one of these guys. I'm trying to think of something. Yeah. Good question. Yeah.
I can answer this question from my side. Yeah, for for me, it was really exciting that a lot of people here are really not just end users, but are developers and creating by themselves their products. And yeah, because on FOSDEM, it's more like the user conference. And here, like any person you come, they have their own company. They like can share struggles about open source, about that if you put your code on GitHub, it still doesn't mean that someone will like help you and contribute to it. Yeah, so this was unexpected for me, that it's more like not user conference but developer. And yeah, a lot of great people here.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but what we only So I think they're opening up for museums and airports whether we the work that you want to put the non the people who the coding is not necessarily their skill set more designing and creating people as well.
Yeah, exactly. You sort of realize that there's a lot that goes into all this stuff. You can't put it out writing the code and intros and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of other things that need to happen there. So it's like, for instance, go back to the talk. I was actually at Graham's talk just before this, and talking about technical writing and kind of like documentation. Well, it's for writing documentation. And it's like, well, there you go. That's like an entirely different discipline to writing code. And it's just as essential. Exactly. Yeah, it's like you can put the best code in the world, but the documentation is non-existent, and nobody's gonna know how to use it. So yeah.
Yeah, documentation. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a point at which like we kind of run out of steam, and then we're just like, oh, please not your best. So it's unexpected things, right? So I think it's usually and it all has specifically in the project. I've never realized how much like basically the platform people, but I want to talk about from one of the platform employees talking about a lot of the aspects of making a repairable phone and selling to people. I never realized how much of the actual running a business orthodoxy they have to break in order to do what they want to do. And obviously they are, and a few other projects have been very much guided by principles, and the fact that they can thrive in an environment where the orthodoxy is going to first make money as much as possible by almost possible, and they can actually manage, to pretty much the opposite of any sane business advice would be, and still be successful. That was a positive surprise to me. Yeah, I feel another guy was proud of the here. I was trying to. They only have about 20 minutes, so you don't get a lot of stuff. It's so no single from no, it's that's another thing that's so good to hear is that you can have a project and you can make money from it if you want. But that's pretty much never what people talk about here. People just don't really talk about money. I mean, yes, we talk about funding for projects, but that's only so that the project can happen. It's not really about making money, and that's actually been super refreshing because it feels like you said, if you want to do something good in the world, and you want to actually make a successful product that improves the world somehow, you almost have to like do it yourself out of profit. Like you have to kind of go against the rules of business, like you said. So it's weird, but I feel like those two things can coexist. Like you can make money and get paid for your work, but you can also just do it because you love doing it and because you think it's a good thing to do it for the world. What I'm taking away from it, you can make money, but you choose, if you're like 100% greedy monopolist, and you were to choose a boundary, or you were to choose a balance between doing maybe what you want to do and making money, then it would be very much that the skip the conversation, or the conversation, right? If you're very, I don't want to make money, then obviously I don't think this exists, but that's the example. Whereas, and it's all about the fact that where people who make these decisions put that slide, how they place it, right? So, a few projects, and this is a bit of a common in open source, I think. Basically, slide all the way down to the left and say, none of these too complicated and it brings too much drama to the audience. So we just don't want anything with money, and we're going to go on both doing it. And which is right? If you want to make a project sustainable, and I think that's assumed and true, you probably want to find that you need somebody. This talked about like a lot, and this whole portal, this is the universe of ours. It's like, how do you solve that problem? Of like funding for open source projects, like, how do you give something away? Like, how do you give code away, but then also make money from it? And it's a problem, and I've heard it mentioned on plenty of other podcasts.
I would say, and some people want to ask it, but I just wanted on that vein. There are some efforts. There's no one answer to this. There's some efforts such as the and a lot of people are aware of open collectives where they say, oh, we kind of look after the financial side, but also it's public there, public. So if you're a public entity or you're a non-profit, and people can see all your donations, the $10 or $20 or whatever it is, or large donations, and also see what the project is spending the money on. So it's all in there. So I believe people are good.
Well, I just want to say, I think there's an important distinction to make when we start talking about the money and the differences. And one of those really important distinctions is the distinction between somebody who sings for money and somebody who sells recordings of their songs for money. Once you get into the business of selling recordings, that's very different, because now you're saying, I want to get paid forever for the thing I did last year, as opposed to like, hey, I just did this work I'd like to get paid for.
That reminds me, actually, pretty much did we think about doing an April Fool's joke where we were going to be really serious and pretend that we were releasing an episode in NFT?
We remember when there was the virtual hostel site when we did a presentation about us basically treating this as a marketing kind of exercise and how we lost synergies across silos and kind of thing. But the presentation was there. It was a presentation, there were slides and everything, right? So yeah, that could be a good articulation. But I think the joke has kind of passed by. Everybody knows that NFTs, except for Baltic, Baltic are still selling NFTs. You can just see it above the seat, and it's a complete action. I don't think everyone's thinking about it, but basically, there was like a little announcement that they are selling NFTs, or you can earn NFTs, and it's like airlines, that kind of thing. By the way, I think the joke about NFTs is going on. Now everybody knows that it's scams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But don't want to.
If you want to know something, yes.
Well, I do have a comment on what Chip said. So he said there's a distinction between singing for money, or we phrase it differently. There's a difference between being paid to perform and being paid for past performances. One model would be like companies selling a past release of their software, and another would be funding the work of a project maintainer that's working on like core components of common applications. And I think they both have their place, but personally, I believe funding the maintainer of the critical project is more critical than funding the end result, I guess. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because the critical component is using a lot more than just the resulting product from other systems.
Okay, thanks to me. Have you have a question?
My question for you would be, what would you look at looking towards the future based on your experience here? What advice or what thoughts would you have for ways for the conference to improve next year? Seems like we're all very happy and we're all very thankful for the excellent work that was put into it this year. But are there areas of improvement? And if so, what are they?
Yeah, it would be kind of boring. If I can deduct, then yeah. I think it's boring. Oh, seriously? A conference in Tokyo will be horrible.
But I don't even want to answer that one question.
I'm always thinking about it. It's completely different. So one thing potentially could be, it's a logistical matter, not necessarily doable, but having all the attendees in the same hotel as the actual convention was extremely convenient last year, but I know that's not always doable. It depends on location very heavily.
I think
And it's just me being lazy.
it's like there's space where you can say, okay, this can be fixed by just booking a bigger hotel, which means a lot more money or something like that. And but I don't know if there's anything that can be done on a kind of non-logistical level. You know, should it be longer? Should it be shorter? Should there be more talks running consecutively? Fewer talks running consecutively? I don't know. What it looks like if the what's we call it, put up in a separate hotel is our hotel that becomes the party hotel.
Yeah, there's a natural sort of like area for us to all gather afterwards. Yeah. And everyone walks through the doors and put it in, so everyone spots everyone at the bar.
I have an improvement that we can do. So one of two options, either the Philippines or something else that's not freezing, or June. One of the two is great.
I have a comment on that. I applaud the courage of Amolith on his shoes choices, despite the location and the time of the year. That was bold.
For the listeners at your clients at home, I'm always wearing I'm supposed to make it. I'm always wearing shorts, sandals, and short skirt, sleeves. I was pretty much feel like that for the entire time. I mean, I think he had a long job with us for one night, for like 30 seconds. On the other hand, you know, this for us, Northern Dublin, this is almost summer, so something like it's because the buildings are really hot. Yes, it's cold outside, but once I get inside, I just start sweating. So I dress to be most comfortable in the worst setting.
Yeah. So I think my question is connected. How did you like the Riga? Except weather.
I can actually quiet and just very like, yeah, it's not very crowded. Traffic. I like that city, like also quiet. We were there really good actually.
Has become we ended up in the same restaurant 3 times. 3 times. So there is a place called Lido. You should get a discount there because it's a lovely place. We lived that restaurant. Yes. Me, Conor, and my wife Alexander, we went to for a walk on Friday morning before the sun started. And it's a lovely city. I keep comparing it to Prague because I'm from the neighborhood. And you can see the similarities, but you can also see the unique things for me. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe everything in the Baltics is the same, but I wouldn't know. But it's a really, it's a really beautiful thing, really beautiful place, lovely architecture, great food, and yeah. I don't know if it's just reproduced to make it look like that, or I'm not been here about it. I'll look to normal South Africa, but I was struck by how all the buildings look, that everything seems to be well preserved. So, or maybe it's just that's the building codes, newer buildings, and look like that.
I really wanted to explore the city more, but my sleep schedule is just an absolute crap. I woke up at, 8 o'clock. No, I went to sleep 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And at 8 o'clock in the morning the day before. So I ended up missing a lot of the talks I wanted to see. And then I'd lay in bed at night, go to bed around 1 or 2 in the morning, something like that, and just lay there for a week. It's not been great in terms of sleep.
So I mean, there should be an alternative nighttime track for people.
I do have a suggestion for it's a minor thing. It's not exactly conference related, but I do have a suggestion for Canonical to make these better for at least a percentage of the attendees. And that's maybe just offer some generic international travel tips. I had a much better time this year than last year because of some very hard lessons I learned about equipment that it's a good idea to have with you last year because I didn't have it last year. So an international capable hotspot as well as power adapters. A power bank is a great idea, not just like whatever little cheap random crap, but like something good. I don't know if y'all are aware, you can buy power banks that can recharge your whole phone in an hour, like as fast as you can plug it into the wall.
And ones that will recharge your laptop in 3 minutes.
Yep.
There's great stuff.
Can you actually check that as a
In my carry-on, yes.
Yep. And in my carry-on as well, my power bank can recharge my phone 5.5 times over. And because I also got a new charger, I can charge that entire power bank in less than an hour from dead flat to full.
This is go to my Jim's power bank. Yeah, I was on theory of the
So I just wanted to add, I wanted to answer the question earlier about Riga. I noticed something that has nothing to do with the conference. I just noticed it. If you're walking on the street, the cars will purposefully stop for you and wait for you to go. That doesn't happen in America.
It almost became a conflict of the two people being ultra polite.
Yeah, you're trying to let them go, and they don't want you to. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Is it a local? So there could be two things. Most of the cluster, there were these traffic signs that look like gateway pedestrians. It's possible that there's like absolute pedestrian right way. But I've noticed that I've just been obeying the so if it's been red,
Yeah.
But it happens even when there's not an actual signal. Like there's certain cross sections. If you just start walking, they will slow down, and sometimes they'll slow down before you even get to the curb because they see you coming. Especially if it's a group, but if it's even one person, that they do it. So that's nice.
I know something here as well that it gyrate when you come to Dublin. It's like people will wait at the don't walk like the red van of the like they actually stand there and wait even if there's like not a car inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Like in Dublin, people just completely ignore those things. They'll just like run across the road right in front of the speeding car.
Jane walking that road, etc.
Oh yeah, like some people are just some of those lights are just a formality.
There are lights in Dublin.
No, the traffic lights for the cars, yes, people obey those.
It doesn't help that it doesn't help that in Dublin pedestrian lights have put yellow lights as well.
I think that's really cool. I like that. Everyone says that's weird, but I actually, I don't think that makes sense.
Actually, I just wanted to mention that it's not only the cars that are.
Yeah. The countdowns are fantastic. In the US, there are like buttons underneath crosswalks that you can press, but 9 times out of 10, they're placebos. They literally. While here, rather than giving you a placebo, making you think you're doing something, they give you a countdown. So you know, okay, I just have to wait 30 seconds. I can be patient. I can wait 30 seconds.
I thought the Dublin too, but not on every set of like, so they only have one song. But yeah, so and that perfectly encapsulates my entire point. We start off on the Linux podcast, and then we're talking about traffic lights. So that's just the comment, like that's these kind of conversations.
They probably run Linux.
The difference said they probably run Linux. We have a microphone. So I think we're almost. I don't. We're almost out of time, so maybe we'll take one or two more questions and then wrap up.
It wasn't a question. I just wanted to let you guys know if you go across a park where they have the 3 stars and then like wait for a tramway to come, the tramway will stop for you to cross the street. There's no sign, no nothing. I mean, how good is that, right? The tram. You will be dead, yes.
You'll be the sign on the
I gotta record it. I'm throwing it to you. I throw it next week, but yeah, because this thing is fun.
Yeah, just the little thing that goes off on the lights. Anyway, back to lights. So, have we got any final remarks? I think we're almost at
Any final questions? Anybody want to say that? Anybody has anything else? I think if we're going to wrap up, I'll wrap up. Social.
Michael wants to throw, so can you?
Yes, I want to give a final comment. It is very, very important when you go to a conference that you bring your good winter equipment, because we are already in November and it can happen that it snows. And Amolith, he has done it really, really well. He has bought a pair of flip-flop with spikes in case that it gets icy.
Which is all everyone.
So these flip flops, there's each block or whatever has two pieces of tread Velcro to the bottom. You can rip those two pieces of tread off and replace them with pieces more tread, less tread, pieces that are like grippy for underwater use, or that have spikes. And they're meant for fishing. No one said I couldn't use them.
Does it look like looking at snow chains on a beach bucket?
Does it say as seen on TV, wish.com, or Temu, anywhere on those sandals?
And was switching with chocolate chip. Right now. No, I thought this thing has to exist. Let me look for it.
And I spent like a day looking around and I found one manufacturer.
Try me and show up and take my money.
Yeah.
So I think it is true. The spikes are velcroed to the soles of the shoes. So if it gets stuck in ice, the spikes will stay. You trip over. The velcro is correct. You trip over, and up in your nose.
No, the spikes are.
It's load bearing Velcro. It's load bearing Velcro.
Yes, it is. So you can just rip off the pieces like this, and the spikes are permanently attached to the tread. It's the tread that velcros to the rest of the shoe.
Okay.
So it's a big chunk for the benefit of the audience.
Okay, enough about the sentence.
No, for the very quick for podcast part. Sorry, social part.
Yeah, exactly. So,
It's up there and it's showable. So you're making it like,
okay.
Linus has that.
It's like, yeah, so go to linuxlabs.com, which is up on the screen, and you can go to linuxlabs.com/contact. You can email us on show@linuxlabs. And you can get us maybe on Telegram. We have a Telegram group. We have a bunch of different things. We have forum as well, forum.linuxlabs.com. Yeah. So yeah, it's all linked on the website. You'll find it all there. Best place to get in touch with us is directly on Mastodon. So it's pretty active there. So yeah, we've been the Linux Labs. Thank you all so much for coming.
And thank you for Canonical for such a great event.
Oh, and massive thanks to Canonical as well. So
thanks to the live audience.
and thanks to everyone.
Thank you to my mom, to my dad.
All right. So
We're not getting Oscars.
it's over now.
Sorry, bye.